You are born in 1715 in a crooked little house near the Bristol docks, the third son of a rope maker who coughs blood into his handkerchief every winter and calls it nothing. Your mother sells eel pies from a cart. Your father's hands are permanently curled from decades of twisting hemp into cable, and at night he shows you the calluses like they are medals. Your older brother Thomas has a habit of biting his thumbnail when he's frightened, which is often, because Thomas is frightened of the sea and everyone in Bristol lives because of it. Your little sister Anne collects gull feathers and lines them along the windowsill, and she believes with total childhood certainty that each one is a letter from a sailor who never came home. Years pass. You turn 5, and your father takes you down to the harbor to watch the merchantmen unload sugar and slaves from the Indies, though nobody calls the second cargo by that word in front of you. You turn 8, and your father's cough gets worse, and the rope walk pays him less because his hands shake now. You turn 10, and the eel pie money isn't enough. And Thomas is sent to apprentice with a cooper 3 streets over, and you understand, in the vague way children understand adult math, that 1 mouth fewer means 1 mouth fed. You turn 11 the week your father dies. The truth is, in 1726 Bristol, a dead rope maker's family has exactly 2 choices: the parish workhouse or the sea. Your mother chooses the sea for you, not because she wants to, but because the workhouse takes children and returns broken adults, and the sea, at least, pays a wage sometimes. A merchant captain named Hollis needs a cabin boy for a run to Jamaica. Your mother walks you to the dock herself. She does not cry where you can see her. She presses a gull feather into your palm one of Anne's and closes your fingers around it, and says only, "Mind the ropes." Then she is gone, and the gangplank creaks under your bare feet, and the smell hits you first: tar, salt, unwashed men, and beneath it all, faintly rot, the ship is called the Fortune's Grace, which you will learn later is the kind of joke sailors tell without laughing. You sleep in the orlop, below the waterline, in a hammock strung between water casks. The rats are bolder than the men. Your job is everything nobody else wants: swabbing vomit, hauling slop buckets, refilling the powder monkey's satchels during gun drills, and standing watch through the black hours when the older sailors sleep off their rum. 6 weeks out, past the Azores, the lookout doesn't shout "sail ho." He shouts nothing at all. That's how you know something is wrong: the silence. The way the whole crew goes still like dogs before a storm. Then you see it. A low black sloop cutting fast across your stern, no colors flying, oars out even with a full sail up, which no honest ship needs. Pirates. Captain Hollis doesn't fight. Merchant captains rarely do. The truth is, a cargo of sugar isn't worth dying for, and everyone aboard knows it, even if nobody says it aloud. The black sloop comes alongside, grappling hooks bite into the rail, and men pour over the side like the ship itself is bleeding them. You expect slaughter. You get an inspection instead. The pirate quartermaster, a broad, sun-cracked man named Ezekiel Marsh, walks the deck reading the crew like a farmer reading livestock. He asks who's married, who's owed wages, who's been flogged. Most of Hollis's crew, it turns out, hasn't been paid in 4 months. 3 men step forward and ask to join the pirate crew on the spot. This is not unusual. The truth is, life under the black flag is often more democratic than life under any lawful captain. Pirate crews vote on captains, share plunder by article, and compensate men for lost limbs, none of which the Royal Navy or any merchant house bothers to do. But you are 11, and no one asks if you want to join anything. Marsh looks at you a long moment. "Boy stays," he says. "We're short a hand in the galley." Nobody argues. Captain Hollis, released with his ship, his log, and half his cargo, does not look back at you as they cast off. You watch the Fortune's Grace shrink against the horizon, and you understand that this is simply how it goes: cargo, ship, and boy, redistributed by men with more guns. Now, let's get back to the story. Life aboard the pirate ship you learn her name is the Nightjar is stranger than you expected. There is a code written and signed by every man aboard. called the ship's articles, no fighting below decks, a share of plunder for every crewman according to rank, compensation for wounds, punishment for stealing from a shipmate. You are given a share, small as a boy's share is, and the first coin you ever earn honestly in your life comes from thieves. Marsh takes an interest in you the way a hard man sometimes takes an interest in something breakable. He teaches you to splice line, to read the wind off the water's color, to load a swivel gun. He never once calls it kindness, and you never once call it that either. But you notice he saves you the best of the salt pork, and you notice he doesn't mention it. You turn 12 at sea. You turn 13 watching a boarding action from the rigging, close enough to see a man's face when the pike goes through him, and you do not think about what is happening in that moment. You have learned already that thinking about it happens later, if at all. Then Nassau falls. The Navy sends ships, the pardon offers come, and the loose brotherhood that held the Nightjar's crew together starts fraying at the edges. Marsh takes the king's pardon. Half the crew doesn't trust it and sails on toward a rope's end most of them will eventually find. Marsh asks if you want to come ashore with him, start over as a free man in a place where nobody knows what you were. You stand at the rail with Anne's gull feather, worn soft as cloth now, still folded in your coat. The truth is, there was never a version of your life where you got to choose the sea, or the ship, or the men who claimed you, not the merchant captain, not the pirate quartermaster, not the crown offering pardons to some and nooses to others based on nothing but timing and luck. Every hand that has ever moved you for its own reasons. But this choice Marsh's hand, open, waiting this one, might actually be yours. You don't know yet what kind of man you'll become on land, whether the sea will let you go or simply wait. You only know the feather is still soft in your fingers, and somewhere in Bristol a window ledge is still lined with feathers for sailors who never came home, and you are, against every likelihood the world offered you, still one of the ones who might.